I'm here in Washington with Federal Reserve Vice Chairman Stanley Fischer. Stan, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Steve.
Let's get right to the news of the day. News that perhaps North Korea exploded a hydrogen bomb. News on Monday that sent the market tailspinning about weakness in China. Tell me how you, as a policymaker, particularly one with all the international experience you have, how do you process this uncertainty into policy?
Well, there are levels of uncertainty, and they've risen a bit now. I can't, at this moment, figure out what the hydrogen bomb rumor or news means. But any geopolitical uncertainty is sort of causes markets to worry for a while, and then to absorb the news and see what happens. And I think we've just got to keep watching and see what impact there is. The China developments are probably more significant, but it's very hard to know precisely how, because for the United States, our direct links with China are much less important than the role of China in the world. And if all China's neighbors and large other parts of the world are negatively affected to a considerable extent by China, then that would be an impact. The rest of the world matters for us. If it was only China, it would still matter, but a good deal less.
When last we met, Stan, it's interesting, it was in August, and China had just kind of exploded in terms of the concerns on the market. Your take back then was perhaps things will settle down, but it caused the Fed to not hike in September, at least one reason, certainly with what happened to the dollar. Was that a mistake back then, and in terms of pausing in September? And is the lesson from that the Fed is more likely to look through some of this uncertainty from overseas?
Well, we've been saying for years, and everybody says it doesn't much matter whether you raise or whether the interest rate moves in one meeting or the next meeting. From the viewpoint of what really matters, it's what people think is going to happen over the next couple of years. And I think September was a good example of that. We waited, looked around, saw that it hadn't had a huge effect, and made the move at the next suitable occasion.